And our runners are off. Game 3 is underway. And of course, Prodigy and Squidman are sticking with their tried and true first robots. Prodigy going to Quick and Squidman going to Flash. Once again, for those that are new to the randomizers, the reason we go for these stages first is the simple fact that there's an easy to grab E-Tank that's along the way. So Prodigy probably has the easier to get E-Tank that's along the way, while Squidman might have a little bit of a struggle, well, not a struggle, but probably be more resistance to get the E-Tank in this stage. So as you can see, Prodigy is just having a little bit of issues with the drills in Quickman stage, while Squidman is not having too much trouble in his stage.
Luckily for Prodigy, the drills only take one buster shot. That's the upside.
Yeah, also, just as is mentioned, yes, this is on easy mode. The reason we're doing this on easy mode because we opened this tournament for all skill levels. And since there are potentially people that are new to the randomizer, we elected to choose that easy would be the most new runner friendly mode to work with. But as the randomizer can show, it can be anything but. Anyway, we got a vanilla Flash in Flash Room, who is really fast and really jumpy, but really easy to go down with the buster, so Squidman just had no issues. Meanwhile, Prodigy in Quick Room faces Bubble Man. Let's see what Bubble Man has in store. Also, no, for the sake of the tournament, we decided to just keep it static throughout, so there would be no difficulty changes, so it would be easy mode throughout.
I feel like Prodigy was taking a few risks there with that bubble fight. I think he was one hit away from death, but he managed to clutch it out.
Also, it seems like we haven't found any items yet. So, we're still looking for our 3 items. Our 3 items are randomized throughout all the 8 Robot Master stages, so we do not know where our items are going to be. So for right now, it seems like our items are not in these 2 stages, as Squidman and Prodigy do what they usually do and just swap stages for their second Robot Master.
I feel like if the other levels in this seed go like these 2 stages have gone, this is going to be a really fast seed.
The potential is always there, but the randomizer can always say otherwise. But for the most part, since they're going through the same stages, there's really nothing new to note about. We're just gonna just hope to see how they handle their respective Robot Masters that are coming up next. Of course, Prodigy's gonna deal with a very quick moving yet very easy Flashman, while Squidman's about to fight his Bowman battle in a little bit.
Yeah, this Bubble Man can be a little tricky, and Prodigy took a lot of damage. I'm curious if that happens to Squid. I'm curious if he tanks instead of taking the risk.
I think you can easily out-damage Bubbleman if you got him just enough health, just like Squidman does. So Squidman should not need his tank, which he doesn't.
Yeah,
so
he got through that pretty cleanly.
Yeah, so Prodigy gets out of his first 2 Robot Masters just a little bit faster than Squidman. But right now, it's still too early to give a definite advantage right now. All we can say is that right now, Prodigy just has a little bit of a lead. Just a little bit.
Squidman keeping to that wood third. I think he's done that all 3 times.
Meanwhile, Prodigy going on to Bubbleman stage, which seemed to be his de facto 3rd Robot Master.
And if you're watching Squid, those chompers or chandeliers, as we like to call them, hiding in the trees there, you can usually see it a little bit better. on your own screen. Sometimes the stream it's harder to see them, but you can usually just faintly see them through the leaves. And as a runner of this game, you become finely attuned with noticing that pattern in Woodman, because you do not want to get hit by one of those things. I think it's 3 hits from one of those and Mega Man's dead.
And just to answer in chat, pretty sure that Prodigy has pretty much answered the question. Yes, zips are allowed, and they usually work. But depending on the situation, zips might not even be possible, depending on what the seed gives out. Also, we've seen a little bit of a randomized attribute for the Atomic Fire. As you can see, the Atomic Fire is firing out full shots without charge. There is a randomized attribute of the Atomic Fire in that there's a supercharged attribute where you can just fire a full powered Atomic Fire with no charge. Meanwhile, Prodigy is dealing with his Crashman fight on the water.
Very, very clean fight overall.
Supercharged Atomic Fire coming in through very, very well for Squidman as he comes into his wood boss room. Which is Heat, man? Is Heat weak to heat? Heat is weak to heat.
That's quite a nice time saver for Squid.
Meanwhile, Prodigy going through Metal Man stage. I would like to actually say that Atomic Fire is actually one of the most deceptive weaknesses, actually. Because one of the things that Atomic Fire actually does is actually strong on 2 bosses. But the Atomic Fire is actually a red herring weakness for 1 Robot Master. Because while it can be weak for 1 Robot Master, there's also a potential that it could be it can have another weakness that's in disguise. What I mean by that is, while Atomic Fire can be a weakness for a Robot Master, there's also a chance that the real weakness could be another weapon for it. So while Heat was weak to Heat, there's also a chance that there could be another weapon that is just as strong that's actually the true weakness for Heat Man. So you really gotta watch out for Heat weak bosses.
Squid setting up for the zip. This is a huge time save, and I think the runners at this level pretty much get it 100% of the time.
Meanwhile, Prodigy making short work of Metal Man stage, about to see who's going to be in Metal Room. And we see Quickman in Metal Room. Not necessarily the best fight for these conveyor belts, but definitely not the worst. And not only that, he seems to be Buster Soft weak as well, so Quickman would pose no issue.
Squid appears to really like this Atomic Fire. Plus, it goes so well with the colors of the stage. Why would you not use it?
To answer your question in chat, for those that aren't familiar with the randomizer, the music is randomized. There is a chance for the old favorite of the Mega Man 2 Wily 1 theme being in here, but there's also a chance that it might not even be here at all. Right now, we have not heard it yet, so we don't even know if it's even in this seed. So at any rate, we got Squidman taking care of Crashman in Bubble Room while Prodigy is going through the the Woodman stage. Squidman's use for heat pretty much just wrecked my brain for a little bit. I'm noticing that Prodigy does not have his items, so it looks like he's gonna have no means of doing any kind of zips in Woodman stage. He's gonna have to just go it legit. So there will be no zipping in Woodman stage.
So the question is, will Squid be stubborn and do this item 1 zip? No, it looks like he's gonna skip it.
Wait, when did he get item 1? Who was with one. I didn't see it on anyone's tracker until just now.
It must have been when he finished wood.
Oh, if it was on wood stage, then that would explain quite a bit. Meanwhile, we got a little fat fence just pretty much slowing Squidman down for a little bit. Meanwhile, Prodigy is fast closing in on his way to Wood Boss Room. Utilizing as much Leaf Shield as possible. At least we know that Leaf Shield goes normal horizontally. The Leaf Shield can actually be reversed. The Leaf Shield can go the opposite direction, either vertically or horizontally, depending on what the C gives out. Right now, we only know that the Leaf Shield is normal horizontally. And Prodigy finding that heat is weak to heat. So Prodigy makes short work of Heatman, while Squidman is about to go into metal room when he's about to face Quickman. And yep, there's the proof. Woodman held item 1.
See, so I think that puts Prodigy slightly in the lead. It looks like the levels that they've done are like all the same levels, so level length isn't a factor.
Prodigy finding item 1 is going straight to Crash, seeing if he can utilize item 1 to do any kind of zipping potential. And Squidman looks like he's about to do the exact same.
Yeah, it was not an easy setup, but he was able to pull it off.
Prodigy successfully doing the crash zip, while Squidman is doing the exact same thing. It pretty much ignores anything and everything that's going to be in the moving platform areas that you normally see in this stage. So, and having to deal with the random shenanigans that the enemies could dish out there is definitely a great boon to have in your arsenal. So Prodigy's the first starting the crash climb, seeing a Sniper Joe pretty much just blocking his path. And the Sniper Joe himself winds up being metal immune, but not crash immune. Prodigy is sticking to the right side, while Squidman actually going to the left side.
Yeah, that was an interesting last-second decision he made there. I wonder what his reasoning was.
Technically, it's faster to go to do the left side in order to get to the E-Tank, so you don't have to do the whole wraparound that Prodigy just did. But it still depends on the enemies on if it's actually worth it or not. Anyway, we find that we have Metal Man in Crash Room, pretty much really spamming those metal blades pretty hard. Squidman coming up to the same battle. Both of them just electing to just do a Buster damage race. Metal Man is not a bad fight with the Buster, so it's not too bad that to use the Buster against Metal Man and not dig for weaknesses. Prodigy opting to go to air. Let's see if Squidman follows suit or goes anywhere else. But seeing that Heatman is potentially the last Robot Master, I think that's what's going to be his choice. Yup, Squidman following suit. The fact that Item 3 is not available yet, Heatman just does not seem an attractive option to go to at this point.
Prodigy choosing to delay for a second. He intentionally faced to the left to make the bird spawned, to make it come from the left, and that way when it's chasing him, it's much easier to deal with, because it'll usually drop one egg, all the little birds will fly out and just sort of stay clustered. Squid, on the other hand, trying to cross the pit, but gets hit by an egg and falls down, and that's why Prodigy faced left.
Yep, those spawning enemies like those birds, those are really problematic in stages with pets. Of course, since the birds are native to Airman stage, this pretty much almost comes as no surprise as to seeing a death in that situation. So that, as a result, pretty much this extends Prodigy's lead, as pretty much at this point, we're probably going to be seeing the same set of stages for the rest of the run, which means we already know that everyone's going to go to Heatman immediately after. So at this point, we pretty much have a clear definition of who's going to be in the lead. We find Vanilla Airman in his own room. Good job, gang. Good job.
Is this even randomized?
Of course you had to say that.
Well, everyone was already thinking it. Squid switches back to heat, or atomic fire, which I'm not surprised to see. He seems to like that weapon.
It's a pretty strong weapon and it has a decent weapon amount, so it's a pretty nice go-to weapon for at least most of the enemies, seeing the rabbits don't even care. Not only that, we also find Vanilla Item 2 in Air Stage. It's almost just like the full Vanilla Air combo. But yeah, with item 2 found in Airman stage, we find that item 3 is actually locked in Heatman stage. So we actually do not have any good zipping material for this stage. Prodigy's gonna have to do Heatman stage mostly legit until we reach the Yoku block section. But yeah, as you can see, with no item 3 available, Prodigy is fortunate they had to just walk through all the lightning, all that stuff that you probably wouldn't have to normally deal with if you had item 3 to zip to this point. But fortunately, you do have item 2, so you don't have to worry about the Yoku block, which Prodigy obviously is going to use. So let's see, who we're going to be having in Heat Corridor. I haven't been keeping track of all the bosses. I don't think we've seen Woodman yet. I think Woodman's our last robot master. And there he is, we got Woodman in Heat. We got no false start leaf shield this time, and yep, this is a really easy Woodman compared to our match 2 Woodman, who was just really god awful.
Both runners having no trouble with that section of heat that we usually don't see in the rando, and I feel like it can also be kind of a bad section, but both these runners are very experienced, know how to deal with it very well.
Alright, so 3 times we doing this, 3 times you gotta make a guess. For the 3rd and final time for this matchup, guess the color of that Mecha Dragon. And for that lovely extra credit, guess that weakness as well.
Are you gonna guess monochrome this time?
Actually, no, we're gonna go full true blue. We're gonna have a blue dragon with Buster weakness.
Then I'm gonna have to go Barbie Dragon and a weakness, Leaf Shield. This is seems to be a fairly easy Wily one for Prodigy.
Yeah, not too many trolling enemies right now. Just a few mets and a few prop tops. No crazy enemies that... Well, never mind. There's one. But fortunately, the Joe Meg actually goes down very quickly with the metal blades. And yeah, just decides to take the bullet shot and just ignore the other Sniper Joe. So yeah, these two are not that far behind from each other. They're pretty much an air death away from each other. Squidman taking one of the nastier deaths. Can't recall if Prodigy had a death earlier. If it did, I pretty much forgot again. But right now, all we know is that Squidman is just probably a handful of seconds behind, still on the same stage, probably about 2/3 of a stage behind. Anything can happen. This is still very, very close and in range of one major mistake, evening the gap. And we got ourselves what looks to be an orange-ish dragon.
Yeah, and if you remember the last two races of this match, Prodigy took unexpected deaths in Wily 2 in both of those, so we'll see if that happens to him again. I think Squid could pop back into the lead, but I think it's unlikely that he'll have a third death there.
Well, regardless, we find that air is one of our Mecha Dragon weaknesses, and Prodigy just pretty much just blows the dragon away. Quite literally, in fact. And is on his way to Wally 2.
Boy, the wind up on that pun.
It's a terrible pun, honestly, should be ashamed. Regardless of the matter, let's see what Prodigy's strats in Wily 2 has always been interesting. We already know he always skips checking for wall weaknesses. And this time he does the same thing he did in the second match and decides to go the bottom route rather than the upper route, which he did in match 1. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna skip checking for wall weaknesses like he did last time. And indeed he does.
Noticing Squid put that atomic fire sooner in his rotation of fishing. Which kind of makes sense given how much the turbocharged atomic fire is really a good weapon.
And actually we find that Crash is the second weakness for the Mecha Dragon, which is actually very interesting, because depending on how the Crash Bomb works in this seed, you can potentially one-shot the dragon if you can force the explosion on him rather than actually shoot him with the bomb himself. But it's a very precise shot, so it's really hard to try and do. So hitting him with the bombs itself is actually a much more consistent situation. Meanwhile, Prodigy is digging for weaknesses for the Picos and finds that the first weakness available is metal and decides to stick with it. Well, no. He decides to dig for another weakness because he didn't want to spam more metal blades. He probably saw that the weapon count for the metal blade was bad and opts to choose for another weakness. But it looks like while heat is the good weakness, isn't faring better. Because it looked like this exact damage. So as a result, he wasted all of his heat and decides to go right back to metal. So this is a really weapon meter intense battle. Prodigy probably gonna have to do a lot of refilling. Also, I did not get to see Squidman check to see the wall weakness.
Oh, unfortunately, I was focused on the fight as well, and I missed it. He does have full E-tanks.
Yeah, pretty sure our lovely people in chat will confirm the crash weakness if Squidman checked it.
interesting that Prodigy only filled up Atomic Fire. He didn't bother with air or metal.
Well, speaking of someone messing with air, air is another one-shot weakness. But it also seems like... Hang on. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be in exact ammo air as well. So he's probably going to run out of air by the time he beats Pico. Yep, wasted all his there to make sure that Pico goes down. So he's going to have to take a chance and dig for some weapon ammo for air, just in case there's another air weak boss that's going to be on the way. You got to consider the fact as well that air was also a weakness for the Mecha Dragon as well, as Prodigy shown us when he fought him. So, like I said, randomized weaknesses, managing your weapons, it becomes really, really important as a result. Ooh, and we got a crash weak Guts tank. Prodigy probably using the explosions to accumulate damage from inside the Guts tank. Very well played.
Squid with a very precise landing there to avoid hitting that prop top. That is dangerous and risky to pull off. If you're short, you fall on the spike and die. If you go too far, you take a hit, and it's not bad. So you definitely want to overshoot if you're going to try that.
Yeah, weapon energy is becoming a major factor in this particular seed. So Prodigy's gotta be really careful about his item count. But I'm pretty sure Prodigy will handle the rest of it fine. Meanwhile, Squidman's about to face his Guts tank. Let's see if he finds a weakness other than the crash bombs. Prodigy about to do the item 3 zip for Wally 4. Does it successfully. And it looks like it's metal weak as well.
It's the back page Guts Dozer.
Yeah, back page being the king of being the Guts tank this time around. So let's see what's in the elevator section. There is nothing in the elevator section in Wally 4, apparently. So, unless there's anything in the next screen, it's probably going to be a very easy-ish Wally 4 for Prodigy if he manages his items correctly. Nope, never mind, we got surprise frogs. Lag Central. Trying to utilize the metal blades, but they're coming out very slowly. It looks like you only fire 2 at a time. Opts to use the item 2 to fly across as opposed to using item 1 using damage boost strategies. Squidman doing the item 3 vertical zip as well. They're still not too far from each other, where Prodigy just still have the advantage. Right now, it seems like that Prodigy is being the one that just pulling away. Oh my goodness, it looks like we found one of the god weaknesses for Boo Bean. Metal being one of the weaknesses. No, being the only weakness for Boo Bean. So he does not have to even destroy a single block. So Prodigy not checking for wall weaknesses actually wind up saving him in the long run. Thanks to everything being metal weak. But was cutting it really close with metal ammo though.
I don't know what Squid's ammo is at on that. It'll be interesting to see if he has enough.
I forgot he used metal for Guts tank. That's actually gonna be a concern for Squidman as well. So we're gonna see what happens for Squidman. Also, the music for Wally 4 is actually from Brave Fist Musashi, I believe.
Oh, and he chooses to refill air, which might cost him if he's low on metal. I don't remember what Prodigy started with.
So yeah, Squidman realizing that the Metal Week doesn't have to destroy walls, so whatever weakness the walls were, it becomes completely unnecessary and moot. So as for us commentators, we probably never know what the wall weakness or Squidman checked. I saw that someone in the chat said it was bubble, but since Squidman didn't have to use any weapons to destroy the walls, us as commentators would never know. Also, shoutouts to Mario Kart 64 Rainbow Road.
So the stream went down for me for a second there, in the middle of that Boo Beam fight, but I guess Squid got through it no problem because I see him in Wily 5 now.
Yep, Squidman found the metal weakness for Boo Beam and is on his way to the refights. And right now, it looks like he's three to four Robot Masters behind Prodigy, as Prodigy just continuing to move on the refight. So right now, it looks like we're depending on the Wily Machine to cause some little chaos. But of course, we're almost half expecting it to be Buster Week, so there might be no chaos to be had.
No, this song's from Mario Kart, right?
Yeah, Mario Kart 64, Rainbow Road. But yeah, this has been a fantastic race so far. All the races have been coming down to the wire, and most of the time differentials have mostly been due to deaths.
Yeah, this is very close. I kind of hope the machine is not Buster Week because we'll see more fishing, and it should even up even more.
That's what we hope to see, but that's not what we're expecting.
It's the Scooby-Doo Wily machine.
Wait! Oh, the shot gave my hopes up. Prodigy shot too low the first time. I feel debated.
Oh, Prodigy, wow. I thought he was a goner for sure, but he clutched that out. Squid choosing to ignore the health drop and instead E-Tank. I think it was probably a smart move. It saved him a jog across the room, and I don't know, do the E-Tanks fill your health faster than health drops? Do you know on that, Creed? Alright, Prodigy fishing here. Oh, he finds it on the second try. Looks like his official SRL time is a 33:54. 2:33s. Those are really amazing times. To see two of those in one match. That's really something. Now we'll see how close Squid finishes based on his fishing. I believe that was Leaf Shield. Let's try in the back page. Oh, here he goes. And there we go. I think Creed might have disappeared. I'm not hearing him. Hopefully we can get our runners in here for an interview.
Prodigy moves on to the bracket while we had to say goodbye to Squidman. But these two have done very, very well. But yeah, we're going to be trying to get our racers in for our interview here, so hopefully we can get them in a little bit.
Yeah, I can't believe Prodigy put down 233s in a match.
Hi.
Welcome.
There we go. GG's Prodigy. How you feeling after your matches?
I'm, I don't know. I played really bad on both of the three of them. So, the times were good, but I didn't think I played good, so... yeah, it was all fine, all fine.
And meanwhile, we got Squidman in the in the Discord as well. GG's to you, Squidman.
Alright, thanks.
So how did you feel about your races so far against Prodigy?
I was pretty disappointed in at least the first race, and the second race was good, and the third race was okay.
So I think the major thing that was pretty much stuck in my head were just some of the awkward deaths that y'all two had in at least in match 1 and in match 2. But Squidman, you had some awkward deaths in match 1 that gave Prodigy match 1, and Prodigy, you did the similar things in match 2 that gave Squidman the victory. How do you feel about those situations?
Well, I died on quick lasers due to that, and my phone rang. The story is my phone rang, and I look at my phone, and next thing I see, I'm dead. That's the quick beam story. After that, it was just a snowball of deaths, and I couldn't recover. That's it.
Squidman, how about you?
I don't know. It was the only deaths I took were in air, and I took one in Wily 4. That was unfortunate. I just missed the platform. But yeah, it's just troll Metroids.
I believe that was Airman stage in that sea, wasn't it?
Yeah, the first race was Airman.
Yeah, now you're seeing why I'm starting to dislike them more and more. They're starting to become #1 in amongst the crabs.
Yes.
Yeah, Airman is such a show every time.
But yeah, with this, y'all performed very, very amazingly. But unfortunately, one of y'all has to go. Prodigy, you're moving on in the loser side bracket. Squidman, we're gonna have to say goodbye to you.
Yep.
So, Squidman, what's your plans for the rest of the tournament match as a spectator instead of a player?
Oh, I don't know. Probably just stay a spectator and do commentary if I get the chance.
Also, how do you feel over your overall performance in this tournament as well?
Pretty good. These last 2 matches, I feel like they could have been a lot better. So, but for the most part, I feel like I've improved with the randomizer quite a bit.
In the meanwhile, Prodigy, congratulations to you. You continue on to the losers quarterfinals, where you're going to be waiting between the winners of myself and Stuff and Things, which should be actually coming up next Friday. We don't have a given speed gaming channel, but it's definitely going to be Friday night. So, how are you going to be feeling? Who you going to be hoping to face between Stuffing and me?
Oh, about tonight, I'm feeling great. Top 4, dude. What more can you ask about a normie? I'm just a normie. So about your match, kind of want to see you face me, because I haven't raced you. That's a true story, and it's gonna be interesting, at least for me, because I want to try something new. I raced stuff before, But the interesting challenge for me is gonna be to race you. So yeah, that's my expectations for you to win. Not to own necessarily, but to win.
That or being frightened to lose, you did pull a couple of 33s out of your hat.
Well, it happens. It happens. I was really motivated today. Really motivated. So I wanted to win. I wanted to win really hard because today is a very special day. So yeah.
Yeah, you told me about that, but we're gonna leave that between us. So,
Yeah, just leave that.
Yeah, but yeah, congratulations to you. Congratulations to you two. Y'all have performed excellently. Dagger, do you have any other things to say for our racers?
Yeah. So Prodigy, Wily 2 of the first race, you didn't go the way that you went the other 2 times. Is there a story behind that?
Yeah, drills. I love drills, and I died both on Wily 2 because of drills. Because I'm too lazy to do a menu, switch to a weapon that killed drills instantly, and instead just bonk them the whole way to the corridor and die. So, wow.
Well,
it's just me being stupid, that's it.
I should have asked about your deaths in Wily 2, but I was actually thinking about the thing where, you know, there's 2 routes. There's the crash barriers that you can jump over and go down the right side of the screen. And you did that on the first seed.
I don't remember, actually. Wily 4?
No, Wily 2.
Oh, Wily 2. Yeah, you can do that. I did that on the first seed because I had a lot of E-tanks left. And I didn't need any E-tanks, so just took the other route, you know.
You just, you figured it was quicker, basically?
Well, it's quicker if you do the zip. I haven't actually timed if it's quicker overall, but with the zip at Wily 2 at the start with the D boost, it's quicker. I don't know with item 2 if it's quicker, but I assume it is.
Alright, so with that said, Prodigy, Squidman, is there any other things that you want to say, any shout outs or anything before we wrap this up?
Nah, just thank you everybody for the support, and to Speed Gaming, to you commentators, to Duckfest, and basically everybody that's involved with this rando. So thank you a lot.
Yeah, it's been a good time. Definitely thanks to everybody who organized the tournament. Glad to be part of it.
Linked all the information in the chat. Follow our runners. They put up an excellent race. So very good stuff between Squidman and Prodigy. Also, if you feel like it, you can also follow us as commentators, but we're not important. So, and shout outs to Metalo for being our tracker for this evening. Of course, there's the Discord for the tournament and the brackets, and all the extra information about the Big Man 2 Rando. As for stuff that's going on around Speed Gaming as well, there's a one-shot tournament going on at Speed Gaming 2 right now. And later on at 9 o'clock Eastern, we're going to have a Shovel Knight tournament on this very channel as well. Which we also have a Zelda 1 Rando race coming on Speed Gaming 2 coming out at 10 Eastern later tonight. Also, tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern, we're going to have ourselves a Mega Man X24 Mavericks bronze medal match, a game 3 between FS Lynx and Colonel Fatso, with the Simpsons Hidden Run Grand Finals coming up very soon on the main channel. So there's a lot of action coming up very soon, tonight and tomorrow. So keep your eye on the Speed Gaming channels and just enjoy all the races so far. So I think it's just time to wrap this up. So thanks to Speed Gaming for allowing the Mega Man 2 Randomizer to be showcased. Thanks to Charlie Boy for being the actual tournament organizer, getting us done for this tournament to even be set up to begin with. Thanks for Duckfish for creating the randomizer. In and of itself, without him, this tournament would not take place to begin with. Also, thanks to Metalo for tracking, as I said earlier. And of course, thanks Daggett for being my partner in crime for commentary this evening.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
So with that, for everyone else, for our runners, Prodigy, Squidman, Metalo, Daggett, this is LV Creed. Wishing everyone a good night and take care, everyone. See you later.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good
See you
night.
later.